Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about WrestleMania 40. I watched it over this weekend and I was going to give a video out before this, but it didn't work out. But I figured I would take a little bit of time to just talk about it, maybe review it and my thoughts on the whole event. Before I talk about any of the matches, I definitely think that this WrestleMania has to go down as one of the best, if not the best WrestleManias of all time. There's so many amazing dynamics throughout the whole entire PLE. I was really excited and for this whole event, and I think it's the most hype I've been for WrestleMania. There were a lot of amazing moving parts throughout the whole WrestleMania. So for me, if I was asked, it could be recency bias, but it definitely is my favorite at this moment. But match number one of the card, it was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. I think that match was pretty good. I don't know what else I like to expect there, specifically from that match. I just knew it was going to be a good one, and it turned out to indeed be a good match. I predicted that Rhea Ripley would win, and I got that one correct, so I was very happy about that one. The second match for Saturday was the six-pack ladder. Oh my gosh. The tag team six-pack ladder match. I don't know what it was fully called. It had a long name for some reason. I decided to give it a big name. But I did originally predict R-Truth and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory to win when I initially did the predictions. I pretty much had a flawless WrestleMania prediction-wise. I did pretty good at predicting things correctly. I mean, overall, in that match, there was a lot of awesome spots. I freaked out with the whole spots that R-Truth was doing when he had to be tagged in, and then he went for the pin and all that. I enjoyed that so much. I think that it's just been so nice having R-Truth back on television, and it finally gave him this WrestleMania moment where there was some bits of goofiness to it, but it still was a very serious win. It was awesome to see that, and I think Awesome Truth in their first original run as a tag team, I think they should have won championships back then, but that was a different time period, and so I'm glad that they at least got one tag team run together. But then after that, it was Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. I think this match was really good. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have much expectations for the match, so I guess that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did. I heard online some people complaining about it, and I can see where the negativity could come from. Yes, I feel like it was a bit overbooked, and I kind of feel like that's low-key the theme throughout this WrestleMania is just, there are several matches that are just overbooked, but in a good way, where it's a lot going on, but it somehow works out. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the match was still great. I very much enjoyed it. I did predict Ray and Andrade to win, and they did win. So that so far is 3 for 3 on the night. I should have done a predictions video, but I guess you're just going to have to trust me that I'm being truthful. Then right after that, it was a match that me personally, and with me and a couple of friends, it was in my opinion, I was almost anticipating it more than a lot of other matches on the card. Uh, Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, and unfortunately, I think that this is the dud of night one. Some people might say the Jade Cargill match, but I think with the Jimmy and Jey Uso feud, they needed more time to build up for it. They needed more time to build that drama throughout the match. I just think if it was given more time, like The Rock didn't need that long of an entrance for it to still be like, oh my gosh, he's at a WrestleMania. Like, of course, it's going to be a big entrance, but that was way too long of an entrance. And Jay and Jimmy really could have used that here. I think that if they had more time, it would have been a better match because I started to like enjoy it more. I was like enjoying it. I was getting into the match, and then it was over. So for me, definitely night one, that is the dud. And it's very unfortunate. I really wanted Jay and Jimmy to be a great match and like a WrestleMania Classic kind of match. It just didn't live up to that expectation for me personally. But if people enjoyed the match, that's all right too. The next match was Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. This match, it didn't have much build to it, unfortunately. I wish it had more time to build up, more time to have everyone get excited for what's going to happen at WrestleMania. It only had like I can't. I think it literally was the day before WrestleMania got announced, which I didn't mind. I was interested in it. I love Naomi. I'm so glad to have Naomi back, and I've been excited for Jade Cargill to debut. And you can tell they're gonna put time and effort into Jade Cargill, so that way she will be one of the main eventers for years to come in the WWE. You can just see it in the amount of money they put in the production they do for her entrance. They wanted her to kind of be like this Storm-esque character, and I think with the way that her outfit was and the way that they were dressed up, how you had like Naomi. I think Naomi was solid. Yeah, Naomi was solid gold. Jade Cargill was solid silver, and then you had Bianca, who was this mix of gold and silver. In the way that I kind of interpreted that as was the styles of wrestlers. You have Jade Cargill, who's this powerhouse, just strong powerhouse wrestler, and then you have Naomi, who is more of a faster wrestler, not necessarily a high flyer. I would say kind of a little bit more like a technician kind of wrestler. And then you just have Bianca, who is in that middle ground of being really fast, really quick, really strong. And I thought it was a perfect combination for those threes outfits. I thought it was great. I enjoyed the match. Once again, I feel like this one could have been a little bit longer, but I still enjoyed it with the time that the match was. It kind of sucks to see Damage Control kind of take L's this WrestleMania, but it's okay because I still think that there is reasons to be excited for Damage Control and for what they're going to do in the future. Triple H has done amazing when it's come down to booking show after show after show. And I'm so excited for the future. And I know that some wrestlers who we think got screwed over during WrestleMania, we might have another opportunity to do something good after WrestleMania. I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to keep watching. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Naomi, with Jade Cargill. Because I remember with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, there was talks about those two originally versing at WrestleMania. And I do think that's eventually a matchup we'll see in the future, but I don't know necessarily if at a WrestleMania, but I know it's like definitely one of the number one matches I and most fans want to see for Jade Cargill. Then right after that, we have Sami Zayn and Gunther. I wanted Sami Zayn to win. I love Gunther. I loved his title reign. I think that he is honestly my favorite wrestler at the moment. But I really just wanted to see Sami Zayn get that solo victory. I think he's earned and he's proved that he deserves. It's awesome to see Sami Zayn getting that moment, that single wrestling moment. Not necessarily it's not that he didn't have a WrestleMania moment. Of course, last year he won the tag team championships with Kevin Owens, but it was nice to have him in a solo moment of him winning the Intercontinental Championship, and the story they put throughout it of him just Gunther getting way too cocky and disrespecting Sami Zayn, and then he rose up to the occasion, won it. And I think it also was amazing the production they did on it, where there's this single shot where they're following behind Sami Zayn, and then right behind Sami Zayn, he's passing all these people who are giving him encouragement, and it's just like it gets you amped up, but then like the quality went low, so it kind of didn't make it nearly as great. But still, production on wrestling in general has been amazing here recently. Ugh, I cannot speak sometimes. But then, of course, we got the main event of night one, which is Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus Roman and The Rock. And, of course, I did predict that The Rock and Roman were going to win because that just makes more interesting television. But I did, at the same time, in the bottom of my heart, just wanted Cody and Seth to win, because I think that just a straight up one-on-one match between Cody and Roman also would have been amazing. But I think with everything that was building up in the story, it had to be a no disqualification match, or what they considered the Bloodline Rules match. The match was still really entertaining, though. I think it took a while. It took so long to kind of like get into the groove of the match, with The Rock's entrance being like what felt like 30 minutes for an entrance. But then the rest of them weren't too bad, so, that was okay. But the match also was just a lot of standing around, taking in the moment of like getting the crowd excited for each one of the matchups, which I think is obvious for something for them to do. But I think it went on for a bit too long for my liking. But then right after that, it started picking up and it started getting more entertaining. And I enjoyed it a lot more. I enjoyed the dynamic of pretty much The Rock bullying his way to getting what he wants in the match. I think that was amazing. I think they did that whole dynamic amazingly, trying to have Cody and Seth overcome what they need to, because they want to have a fair match for both of them. Granted, Seth Rollins did have a fair match in his match, but they just wanted to kind of confirm that. I think that it was still amazing. One thing I told people I was watching it with, my friends and stuff, I told them, I was like, I love the fact that they are doing so much of Cody and Roman. I was nervous when they were hinting at it being a lot more Cody versus Rock, but I think it built up that anticipation for that. But it still got you like excited for what's going to happen tomorrow, because it's already hinting and you're already seeing how these two are interacting. You're like, granted, it's not their first match they've had together, but it's still like, it was nice to see almost like an appetizer to what the main course is, aka the main event for night two. But speaking of night two, the first match, the opening match of... Oh, wait, I should probably say that night one, I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Show-wise, I thought it was pretty good, but there were some things that didn't make a lot of sense. And it also, in my opinion, has the worst match on the card with Jay versus Jimmy. Not that it was physically, or not physically, but not actually the worst match, but it was the most disappointing for me. But night two is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. This match was all right. I wish it had a little bit more time, but it's okay. I think what they did in the match with the time they had was still good. It might be better if I rewatch it, which I'll probably sit down and rewatch a few more of these matches, probably later on. But I don't have a whole lot for it. The actual match itself, I think the aftermath of it. I mean, the only thing that's really to talk about in the first match is just that focusing on Drew McIntyre being such a hypocrite because he was talking so much crap about being like, you're focusing too much on everybody else but not me. And that's what he did, and it led to Drew McIntyre losing his championship he just won at WrestleMania because of a cash-in. I don't think the match in particularly was like too insane. I thought it was still a pretty decent match for the time that they were given. It was awesome to see Drew McIntyre finally get that moment in front of a crowd of winning a championship, but it was also pretty awesome to see CM Punk cause him to lose it to Damian Priest in a cash-in. And I think it was hearing that crowd scream as they were like really excited that Drew McIntyre won, and then CM Punk getting involved, and then turning around and having Damian Priest cash in. I think it was brilliant booking decisions by Triple H, and it just like really made it feel special, made WrestleMania feel that much more special. And that was awesome to see. And then the next match was the Final Testament versus the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. I don't actually know what they're called, the Street Profits of Bobby Lashley. But that match was pretty entertaining. This Philadelphia Street Fight. It was pretty much like one of those matches where it's kind of like to get the home crowd excited and, intrigued of what's going to happen next. I don't really think that there's anything I was bad about the match. I thought the pacing was pretty good. I like the fact that they gave the spotlight on them finally, because everybody's been sick and tired of this rivalry, and I've kind of been one of those people where it's pushing me a bit too far, and I think I've pretty much been like kind of over it. So it's exciting to see, okay, are the Final Testament really going to be pushed more? Like, what's going to happen with them? I loved the Authors of Pain, loved them in NXT, loved them before they were released with Seth Rollins. I enjoyed that, but to have them back, I expect kind of big things for them, and I think we will see big things. We will see big things from them because of splitting up the tag team championships, which they did in night one. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited for tag team wrestling in general. There's a lot of spotlight. There's a good amount of spotlight on tag team wrestling in this event, which is awesome because I will rave about how much I love tag team wrestling, because it's awesome and it's so freaking entertaining and always great to watch. But the next match on the card was AJ Styles and LA Knight. I wanted LA Knight to win. I know I haven't really been saying my predictions for all of them, but I enjoyed this match. Some people said it was a bit too slow. They didn't fully enjoy it, but I think LA Knight, he's not the best wrestler. He's a competent wrestler. He can do a good job. And then you have like AJ Styles, who is a known worker. He can wrestle so well. you can put them in a match with anybody, and it's like impossible for that match to be bad. But it's awesome to see them get that spotlight. Like, some people wish that they were doing more, like hoping that AJ Styles and LA Knight maybe were fighting over a championship, or one of them had a championship by the time that they were going into WrestleMania, not necessarily with the same program that they went with. But I really was thoroughly invested throughout the stories, throughout the booking decisions between LA Knight and AJ Styles. I very much have enjoyed seeing the progress and seeing the rivalry just grow. And I thought it was pretty interesting, some of the spots they did in the match, and their dynamic versus one another was pretty good too. I did enjoy that match. And then the next match was the triple threat. It was Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton in a triple threat. I very much enjoyed this match, and by now, if you are hating on Logan Paul, you cannot hate on this man anymore. He is too good at wrestling, and as someone who wants to hate on Logan Paul, who wants to be negative towards Logan Paul, you can't do it, because time after time after time, specifically in wrestling, he shows us that he is a good wrestler. He puts time and effort into being a good wrestler. This was the one match where genuinely I could not predict a winner, because I could see any of the outcomes. I wanted Kevin Owens to win, because I thought that with the dynamic of seeing Sami Zayn winning the Intercontinental Championship, and before he went out there, he hugged him, and then he won it. I was like, it would be beautiful to see Kevin Owens win the United States Championship the next night, and then they could have like a embrace and stuff. But I still think that even though it was Logan Paul who won, I still think that it was an amazing match. It way delivered, in my opinion. I could not stop like smiling throughout this match and smiling throughout this whole event, because it was so entertaining from beginning to end. But with the triple threat, me and my friends, we were sitting there as we're watching it, and we're just laughing and talking the most crap, because Logan Paul is literally getting his butt beat. They were just beating the hell out of him for literally the first half of the match, pretty much. And it was awesome. And then they just started fighting each other, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And man, it was just uphill from there. The match got better. It just kept on getting better and better. And it's amazing. And if you have not checked out WrestleMania, you have to check it out. That's one match I would recommend looking at if you were looking for a specific match just to watch and enjoy. That one would definitely be up there that I recommend for people. And then you had Bayley versus Io Sky in the match right before the main event. Some people say the co-main event, but that doesn't make any sense. Man, I just gotta say, I wish they put more emphasis on this story going into WrestleMania. They left Bayley off of posters. I wish they would have done more to make it even more intriguing. Like, I was intrigued by it. I love Bayley. Bayley is my favorite female wrestler of all time. Loved her in NXT. Love her on the main roster. Loved her during the pandemic. I was watching every single day, every single event pretty much, watching it, and just made me love Bayley even more. But this match was really solid. I think it was everything I was expecting from this match and a little bit more. And that's all you can really ask for in wrestling. I can't really say enough to justify it, but it is so good. I think, in my opinion, it is the most underrated match that was on the card, because a lot of people are talking about a few other matches that were really good. And I think that one deserves its flowers just as much. But then you got the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. You had Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. You had the whole internet pretty much debating who was winning, Cody or Roman. I was a Cody crybaby. I wanted Cody to win. When Cody gave up his spot to The Rock originally, I was like so upset, and it ruined my whole night. I am a Cody crybaby, and I'm so happy that Cody won. People are saying online that it will give him just a little bit to turn on Cody, because everyone likes this story of a baby's face reaching and trying to go for the championship, but it's the title reign afterwards that a lot of people don't enjoy. I know that I will enjoy, just because I've always enjoyed Cody. Even when he was Stardust, I've enjoyed Cody. So I gotta say, I'm excited for this title reign. Man, what a match, though. I think when Roman genuinely tries, he is such a good wrestler, and I feel like nobody gives him credit. I think even before he was into the Tribal Chief, I think even before that, he was still an entertaining wrestler. He was getting better and better and better and better. But it was us being soured from having Roman time after time after time after time after time being shoved down our throats, basically saying, this is who you guys should root for. And then everyone was like, absolutely not. We're not going to root for Roman. But they were like, still, here's Roman, here's Roman, here's Roman. But to now have him go from being this hated, everybody hated him, to being beloved, and people saying that he's part of one of the greatest storylines in the history of the WWE, which I would have to agree. Especially if we're talking my time within watching wrestling, I've not seen a better storyline. It has everything you wanted. And for me, it's like long-term booking. And some parts of the storyline don't really pay off that well. I still was confused about the Jay and Jimmy and all that. But there was not a time when wrestling here recently has not just straight up had me fully invested, and part of that has been the overlining story of Cody beating Roman, and with him officially beating him this year, it was the best decision they could have made. They made it the cherry on top of an amazing WrestleMania, and night 2 specifically is a perfect show. Like, granted, I think that overall I say it's a perfect show, but there are moments in it where I'm like, this is not that great. But I think that as time progresses, and as this will get older and older and older and older and older, we'll look back on this WrestleMania as being one of the greats. And I just want to say, before it gets to that, I'm already on that bandwagon. This is the greatest WrestleMania. Screw WrestleMania 17. It is amazing, but I don't think it really can compare to the WrestleMania that I watched. And I think it's amazing. I truly recommend anyone who is interested in it to check it out. But I really have enjoyed making this video. I don't really know how to edit, but I'll work on that, and I'll work on making it higher quality. I'll get a camera, I'll get better equipment, but for now, this is what we're working with. I want to, within the next year, by the time the next WrestleMania rolls around, I want to have reviewed every single WrestleMania on my page. So that's one thing I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to try to watch every WrestleMania one a week, give my honest review of it, and just talk about it. And then hopefully within that time, we'll see improvements to not only my background, not only the quality of the stream, not the stream, but the videos, but the editing gets better and the videos just become higher quality. But if you stayed this long, I really do appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I tried to get this video out earlier, but it didn't work out. But it's okay. I'm officially sitting down, recording it now. I'm excited for what the future of wrestling has in store for us. And I think it's definitely going to be must watch. That's it. That's all for today's video. Have a wonderful day.